Jamie, it's difficult for Frank Lampard to come out after the game when they've lost and say, we're going to look at the positives from the performance and maybe make an assessment that we played well. But how do you think they played?
I thought the first half, certainly, they were very good. Just a couple of sloppy moments, like he said. I think the only maybe disappointment was second half. That did they have to really have that belief that he might get back into the game with an equaliser. But I think from where he's taken them at the start of the year, and there were doubts about how Chelsea were going to do, he's made big decisions, I think, from day one when he sold David Luiz. And to get his team into a position now where they're in the top four, they've got a great chance of getting in the top four. I think that would be an amazing season for him. Like the start of the day, you're asking me if Chelsea win, are they going to be title contenders? They're not ready to win the league right now. But I think Frank's message was loud and clear. We're coming, and he genuinely believes that. And especially when they've had a transfer embargo, when that transfer embargo gets lifted, and you give Frank the luxury of bringing players in, I think Chelsea are going to really come good because they've got the nucleus of a good young team, plenty of energy, and they are. I genuinely believe what he says is right.
Not quite ready, but he says they're coming. Is that the fair assessment?
I think he said about 10 times, didn't he? Yeah, no, he's obviously getting the message out there, and he's got that belief, and they've got a lot of good players, Chelsea. I know that it's been tough not bringing players in, but that suited him. And there's no surprise to me where they are. I know they had a tough start after the United game. You're thinking, it's going to be a tough season for Chelsea. They've got a lot of good experienced players, very good young players coming through. But to go up to the next level in terms of being challenging for the league, they need to get a few lads in. But I'd fully expect Chelsea to be top four this year because they have a lot of good players, simple as that. And Frank's come in and just kept it going. Seems to be good spirit, good body language amongst the players. They're playing with great freedom. They're really good to watch. Top four should be no problem, I think, for Chelsea.
So is that what it is then, bringing new players in rather than, or maybe as well as, the young, inexperienced players developing?
Yeah, I think they have enough at the moment to be top four, but, Frank's mentioned there, we're coming and he wanted to challenge Man City. They'll need to add to that. I think everyone knows that. I think Frank will just... What he saw today, he'll be travelling back with his staff tonight. He knows we're just a little bit short, but that doesn't mean to say they won't be finishing top four. But I mean short for trying to really compete to win the league title. They'll have to bring players in for that. They haven't got enough to challenge for the title with the group they've got.
They are, though, pretty comfortably inside the top four. And with the run of fixtures that they've got, Jamie, this is a chance for them to make sure they consolidate their position there. Yeah,
I think so. For Leicester and Chelsea, they're going to be looking behind them, looking at obviously what Tottenham have done this week with Jose, and that will certainly lift them. But they are good fixtures. Frank will get a bit of stick at that West Ham game, I'm sure. Aston Villa at home. They've got. If you look at that run right there, the Tottenham game's going to be a brilliant one. That's going to be one everyone's going to be looking forward to. But they're pretty good fixtures.
Lampard against Mourinho.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank got the better of him last year, didn't he, in the FA Cup? The Carabao Cup game. So he'll be hoping he can do that again. But it's a different Tottenham they're going to be facing. We've already seen it today. They've got a manager, fresh impetus, and Tottenham is still not out getting to the top four.
Jose Mourinho was the one, of course, who said that he was worried for Chelsea when they faced the big teams. Do any of his worries look justified on today's performance?
No, not at all. I think that was probably... I didn't really agree with that one bit because you look at the players they've got. Frank's well aware they've got young players in that squad, and to come to Man City and lose any game is not a disgrace because they're a good side. So no, I don't think that was a fair assessment of where Chelsea are. If you look at the players that already, likes of Tomori, before Tomori at the start of the year, Tomori would have probably sold him or let him go on loan. He's now in the England squad. Mason Mount, what's he worth now? Tammy Abraham, so all the players that he's brought into the team. So no, I don't think that's a fair assessment. And when you've got young players, you are going to lose games. But what they've gathered today in a game like this is a vast amount of experience. They've also got World Cup winners like Kante. So we're not trying to say it's a young team. They've also got some really good experienced players as well.